Okay, so thank you for the introduction and shalom everyone, Shabbat shalom actually. I think Friday away from home is always something that is very special and very different, so this is new for me, this kind of service, so it is special and I'm really glad I can share it with all of you guys. I'll tell you a bit about myself and then I'll go on to what happened in the last summer in Israel. My name is Tamar, I'm 22 years old. I live in Ganei Tikva, which is a small city in the center of Israel, near Tel Aviv. I live with my two parents and my older brother, which is a retired officer, and my younger sister. I joined the army 3 years ago as a paratroopers instructor, so just to make it simple, I jump out of planes and convince others to do it with me or make them do that with me. Those 2 weeks kind of slowed me down, but I'm almost completing my 100 jump, so that was an intense 3 years of service, and I hope the next year and a half that I have will be a bit more calm and just focusing on training the others on how to instruct soldiers. So that's my duty now. I'm a commander of paratroopers instructor course. I have a lot of soldiers that I train them on being a paratroopers instructors themselves. My duty is very special. I won't go into it, just to tell you in a small detail. I'm the only female officer in my job, so I serve with only boys because it's something a bit different. In Israel, they have a lot of duties that they want to equalize to boys, so they take a bunch of girls and they put them together and they see how it works. It's been 20 years like that, so I don't know why they're not bringing more girls, but hopefully at some point they will. So that's my role on my daily basis, but in emergency, every unit in Israel has got a different role. So usually it's very similar to what they do on daily basis, but sometimes it's not. So my job is not as similar to what I do. I deal with evacuating soldiers by helicopters. I'm kind of you can imagine that as the connector between the ground forces and the air forces. So the last operation in Gaza, I'm sure you all heard and you're all familiar with. I'll connect you through my story to what we did in that summer. So it has been a very tough one for us, and the army splits their soldiers all around in an operation like that. So I was split into a team of 3, me and my 2 soldiers. We were sitting on the border together with the medical teams. The medical teams that are staying on the border are there to give further care and further treatment for the soldiers that are getting injured in Gaza. Okay, I'm like standing on my feet. It's really not comfortable. Does that come down? I'm so short. Can you hear me? Yes. And I'm comfortable, that's good. So we're staying on the border, waiting for giving further treatment to soldiers that are injured in Gaza. And from that point, we transferred the soldier into the nearest hospital or either by helicopter. So whatever the doctor decides when he sees the soldier after he got injured, that's what, that he will come up to me. I'm the commander of this mission. He will come up to me, he tell me I need to take them to the nearest hospital. We'll drive to the highway. I'll show the driver through the way to the hospital. If he chooses a helicopter landing zone, then I will open my map, I will contact the Air Force, and whatever they say, then I will bring the soldier to the certain place that needed. So I'll tell you the specific story about my first call to the border, which I think is a very mixed feeling, because you're sitting in a place in the middle of the border and you're really stressed. You must imagine that it's bombs over your head and the skies are always lit up, but not with daylight. It's not sun, it's something else, and you hear a lot of noise. You have no internet because you're on the border. You really don't know what's going on. So we got the first call about an injured soldier. I was navigating with my soldiers, so I'm leading the ambulances. I'm not driving an ambulance. You can imagine how what a big mess it is to be in an ambulance with injured soldier, so the driver does not have anyone to take him through. But those minutes are so important for an injured soldier that they need someone to follow. So I was driving a car with my 2 soldiers, follow me where the ambulance is. We got to the border and we took a soldier that got injured. He was on a stretcher with his friends from his unit. They passed on to us, and they are going back to Gaza. So for them, it is a hard experience as well. They are coming all the way, walking sometimes 3 miles with a stretcher on their back. They come up to us, they give us the soldier, and they continue fighting. They go back in. We took the soldier, we put him on the ambulance. The doctor looked at me and he said, I need a helicopter now. I contacted the Air Force, and they told me that at a certain point that I need to take him to. They followed me to the point. By the time we got there, we need to do it as quick as we can. The aim is less than 1 minute to move the soldier onto the helicopter, and for the doctor on the ground to pass all the information to the doctor on the helicopter. So he will tell me what I need to do. I have a communicator, I can communicate with the pilot, and I tell him everything that is going on. We got the soldier on the helicopter in less than 40 seconds, and I gave the information to the doctor. We put the soldier on the helicopter, and the soldier arrived to the nearest hospital that suits his need, the treatment that he needs. By the time we got back to the base, we go straight away because we need to be ready to get called in case of another injury. So we got back to the base. Unfortunately, the soldier passed away. That's what we found out after we arrived. But this is not, I think, we have 65 soldiers that passed away during the past summer, 72 citizens in total. So that means not all of them were soldiers. And I think for my feeling, it was very hard because I remember this soldier, and when I looked at him in the eye, and of course he didn't have any eye contact with me, but seeing him, knowing that I was almost the last one to see him from his family, from his friends, from everyone, it's a very hard feeling to keep going. But when you know that you are there in order to defend, and when you know you are there for a specific mission, you have to get over it very quickly and keep on going. But I must tell you that this feeling will never appear. It's something I will go on for life. And it doesn't matter that I didn't know the soldier. After his picture was on the internet, it felt like he was my best friend. It just feels like that. So to go through that when I'm 22 years old and have soldiers that are 18 years old, it's unbelievable. But I always like to end with one thing that we all have to remember. It's Am Yisrael Chai. So I'm sure this sentence in Hebrew, I don't even need to translate. And we keep on going. And this is our strength as a country. And although we had a very hard summer, Israel is safe. Israel is quiet. Now it's peaceful. People travel all over. You should come travel. Bnei Bat Mitzvah that read wonderful today in Hebrew and made me so excited. You should come visit and know what you're reading, because loving Israel is not just word. It's walking, is seeing, is being there. And I want to thank you, because when you look at me and we have this eye contact now when I speak to you, I come back home, and I was telling it every time I spoke because I really mean it. It gives me strength. You nodding with your head when I'm telling a story, you're giving me strength that I'm doing the right thing. So when I say Am Yisrael Chai and everyone are smiling, it means it's true. And it means we have to keep on going. And I hope for a very nice and quiet year, and that we can all pray for just keeping it quiet and not having it stop. So thank you very much, and Shabbat Shalom, everyone.